Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Adrienne. I love playing with makeup. I also happen to live in New York City, hence my name. But I haven't been on for some time, not since my last eyeshadow declutter. I've just been trying to organize myself a bit better heading into the holidays, organizing myself in other ways outside of makeup and beauty, though I have tackled some organization on the makeup side. I also have still been shopping. I know I definitely shopped the Sephora sale. I also shopped and claimed out some of my points with Ulta on some items. It was also my birthday and I got a lovely palette from my mom on my birthday. And so I have quite a few new products. And so I thought, let's catch up on life. Let's talk about the future of filming and what you all want to see. Maybe get some ideas. And yeah, let's just have fun. So on my face, I don't have anything. I just clean my face, and so I have to put some moisturizer or something. I don't see myself going out today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do my double serum. When the weather is not too cold, for me, this double serum is just enough. I don't need anything more above it, and I love it. I love everything it does for my skin. It is, you know, a tried and true product that I've been using for decades. And I love it so much. It just has always played well with my skin. And I actually love it underneath the foundation I'm going to use, which is why I'm comfortable putting it on and then going in for this foundation. This actually I purchased right before the Sephora sale. Not sure why. I kind of had heard so many good things about it, and I realized that they recently increased the size of how much product that they actually include. And so I felt like maybe now it was the time to purchase it. And it's the Merit, I actually don't know what it's called. The Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick, I think. The whatever. This is from Merit. And it's a really pretty kind of packaging, really lovely packaging. Got my shade in Linen, and I have been loving this. I just think this is a really nice, easy product, not heavy at all. One of the easiest foundation sticks that I've ever used. I just kind of willy-nilly put that on. You think it's a lot, it's not. And you can even put less and sort of build up, but I have found I know how much I like. I'm just going to use my double-ended It Cosmetics. I find like any brush that has like medium density works with this. I've never tried it with a beauty blender, but I'm not a beauty blender person normally. I much prefer these type of brushes to apply my foundation or using my hands. But you know, I really like a lot of what I tried from Merit. I really like this. I really, really love their Complexion lip balms that are also cheek balms. I have every single shade, and I actually think I'm going to be doing a dedicated video to that, swatching all the colors and showing how they apply on the cheeks and lips. So I will be doing that soon, maybe even later today, because I love that product so much. And I really love their lip oil. Their lip oil, the cheek, and now this product is really nice. I did not love their lipsticks though. So that's the foundation there. And I mean, you see that there's still, you see some of my freckles popping through, some of my melasma. It's not like 100% covered, but it's covered enough that I'm like, yeah, I like it. And I'm wearing this sweater, by the way, because look at my, don't worry, this was self-inflicted. I had a lot of little tiny like micro skin tags just cauterized. So they are gonna heal and fall off. But yeah, I'm like, so I just think that's a really pretty finish. This is about the kind of finish that I like. And it's a nice natural finish, really easy to use. Really been impressed with this. Next up, I picked up two of these. I picked up two of the Saie cream cheeks. These are Dewy blushes. I picked mine up in Spicy and Rosy. Rosy's really pretty. It's just kind of like a perfect pink. I'll put that on first. Just do one dot, really, maybe 1.5 dots, a little closer because I want to put on Spicy. It's a really pretty formula, has a nice generous doe foot, which I actually like doe foot applicators. I know people are like, ugh, it's not sanitary, but I think I don't know. Ease of use. So this is Rosy, and I just think that's such a pretty color on me. My sister picked one up too, I think in another kind of cooler tone pink, and she's been really liking it. What I like is it has a nice glow to it, but it's not as dewy as I would have thought. Like, it stays put, which is really nice. I'm also going to put on a little bit of that Spicy. Now, I have been using Spicy on its own and kind of almost as a bronzer. I know it looks really scary and dark, but trust me here, it's kind of give this burnt effect, which is really pretty. It blends out really nicely, and I kind of bring it up into my forehead to give myself this kind of like ruddiness. So I hope you can see. I don't know, I just think it does such a nice job. That's a combination of the two. I think of the two shades, the one that I find is more special is Spicy. And again, don't be intimidated by this. I have a pretty light to fair complexion, and this looks so flattering on. Another Saie product I picked up. Now this one I'm on the fence about, but I'm generally on the fence about concealers. Like, you just know that about me. I don't often wear concealers. I don't mind my skin looking a little less perfect than maybe most people want, but I was curious about all the hoopla around the Saie Concealer, and so I picked mine up in number 2. Now I think this might be too dark. I don't know. I can't figure it out, but I don't know that it's really for me. I don't have a lot. I have more of a hollowing underneath my eye, like right here, because I have quite like chubby cheeks, and so there's just this hollowing dip, but I don't really have a lot of discoloration. So maybe I'm not the best person to speak on this, but I'll just show you what number 2 looks like. And we'll do maybe one side. I'm just going to do it right there, and a little bit over here. And we'll see what we think. It does have a really nice texture. It is like hydrating. It doesn't feel particularly thick, and it does sit nicely, but it is quite dewy, and I have a tendency to be quite oily around my eyelids into this area, and I do perspire from my face. That's like the most elegant way of saying what actually happens, which is I sweat like a disgusting pig. Especially in the winter when all the heaters come on or anything, or if I have one cocktail, forget it. I'm like, every pore is spewing sweat. I'm one of those people. So I try not to overdo it with complexion products because it's just inevitably going to move. But I did buy an anti-sweat product that I'm going to try that McGrath uses. I think I read that somewhere. So I am going to try that, and I will get back to you whether it works or not. So that's the concealer. I mean, do we think it actually did anything? I don't know, just kind of looks the same. I mean, ignore this light on the side of my face. Wait, here we go. Is it a little brighter? I guess it's a little brighter. Okay, well, now we have to do the same thing on the other side anyway. So I don't know. I don't think this is for me. So on my birthday, which was October 17th, it was a Monday. I actually took the day off. I haven't done that in a while. Like, I feel like that's such a kid-like thing to do. But my sister was out of town, so she left me her dog, who I love so much, so much. And I decided to take the dog to like a fancy spa day. A dog spa day. So I ended up spending more money on my little Daphne doodle. I'll put a little picture of her up here. She's just has my heart. She's amazing. So yeah, I took her to the groomers, to a fancy Japanese shearing groomer. So they do hand scissoring. I mean, it was such a pretty place. I feel like this underneath it's just so kind of, it's a little dewy, so I'm going to put on the under eye powder from Pat McGrath. It's the Skin Fetish, this under eye powder. I don't use this often because, well, I don't really put a lot of stuff underneath my eyes, but it's a great powder. It's a great powder. Yeah, you use it just lightly, and even though it's expensive, I find like you can get a lot out of it. So I'm just gonna put it wherever I put that concealer. Boop. Let me put on eyebrows. So I'm just using my KVD powder eyebrow. This is, again, one of those products that never fails me. So I'm hoping that they're gonna bring this powder back, because this is from before the entire brand rebranded, and I've never found a powder that even comes close to this. I do have a few new palettes. I'm trying to not overbuy, but there's been a few releases and I could not control myself. I had to pick up the Huda Beauty one. It's so beautiful. The packaging is so beautiful. And I really always have loved these holiday releases, and I've played around with it already, and I love the tones. Of course, I have some criticisms. I wish there could have been just another different shade between like these two or between these three. Just keep one. I don't know, but I just feel like there's a little bit of overlap, but for the most part, it's really beautiful and really easy to use, and some of the special shades are really pretty. So I'm just going to use one of those peachy tones to start off using Power, but really there's just not a lot of difference between each, and I am not using a primer because, again, I'm at home, I'm good. But I mean, look, it applies itself, so I don't know. I mean, they're obviously doing something right with these shadows. It's just very pretty, but it is like kind of a peachy color. And just like that, I mean, talk about one and done. Like for a work look, it's a nice palette. So yeah, I have been concentrating on organizing a lot of my clothing, and my sister has also done a lot of decluttering. When we do a lot of decluttering is I list all this stuff on Poshmark, but it takes forever. So I have like literally 100 garments that I have to list on Poshmark, and I have to start now. But yeah, I've lost some weight, and it's time. Also, like, my life is very different. I don't have to go into an office 5 days a week. And when I go in, I don't have to dress very corporate. And so I found like I don't need different wardrobes. I just need one wardrobe where I feel good about what I'm wearing. And that's nice, you know? And if anyone has questions about how well Poshmark works or whatever, I don't know that I've mention this, but I actually, between my last big job where I worked in corporate, like a very big corporation, for 11 years, between that job and this job that I have now, which I'm working in the same field, but for a different, you know, place altogether. I took about 3 years off, maybe. But during these 3 years off, I was kind of doing oddball jobs. And one of those jobs was Poshmark. And really, it wasn't like the way I think people do it now, which is they buy things to sell there. I was just decluttering everything of mine. I had worked at a very like high-end corporate place. It takes me everything not to say the place, but I prefer not to. But anyway, I had really nice shoes and purses and things, and it was never me, you know, like I never felt like that's who I was. And so I parted with all of that immediately. And yeah, that's how I kind of got started on Poshmark. And my grandma had lots of like vintage jewelry. And so I went down that path of like learning about vintage, and we had tons of like vintage costume jewelry. So I became really good at that. And it kind of sustained me a little bit, bought me a little bit of time. So I really did it a lot, like for 2.5 years or so. And then I got interested in other things, but I've always kind of kept it on in a way. And by the way, I'm using the Confident shade, which is this dark plum color, to lightly deepen out the outside, but nothing, I'm not packing it on. So it's always been very good to me. And so I go, like when I do spring cleaning and stuff, I figure out the things that I want to donate and the things I want to sell and all that good stuff. So it's not very difficult to do. They do take a high percentage, but I think I've only had, and I think I've sold like 2,000, 3,000 things. Like it's insane. But I think I've only had like 1 or 2 negative experiences with a customer where I don't think they were being honest about something. So, you know, I think that's a pretty good ratio. Really a nice platform for building relationships, of like people who like your style and you like their style and stuff like that. I also buy a ton on Poshmark. Okay, I think I've already blended it to death, but this is already like a very pretty day eye look. And so here's where you can go dramatic or, you know, keep it day friendly. There are all these really beautiful textures inside. I've definitely used this one, which is a really funny texture. It's like a cream, flaky cream texture. These two are supposed to be used as either eyeliners or bases. So yeah, there's that. And if you love my nail polish, it's by Rogue Nails, and it's called Squash Goals, and it is beautiful. It's so pretty. You can't tell on camera, but it has like a peach flip to it. It's really pretty. And it matches the palette. I don't think I've used this one yet, the swirly shade called Visionary. So Visionary is not creamy. It's actually, well, it's creamy, but it's dry. Oh, that's pretty. It has a really nice glow to it. Nothing like over the top. By the way, if I could recommend something, these brushes by What's Up Beauty, they have beautiful nail polishes, beautiful eyeshadow palettes, but their brushes, their brush set, I waited a while for it, and they're gorgeous, and they're like Japanese handmade, very, very pretty. So recommend those. I was very impressed with the quality and the way they came packaged. See how that's just like a real pretty glow? I love this shade. I really love this shade. So when it comes to these kind of shades, which aren't like very flaky, all I tend to do is just press it in with my finger, and then I just take the last brush I used and just kind of buff around the edges. Lightly, like barely touching the skin. And I feel like that's always enough to get like a really good blend and a very complete look. Should I put something on my under eye? Maybe I'll just do this shade Set It, which is a little bit brighter, deeper than the one I used before. And I think that matches actually very well with that last shade. I had, for the first time in a long time, I had my book club group over yesterday. I've been in this book club, I think, for over 10 years. And such a nice group of people. Like, everyone's just really different. And I really love the books that we end up reading. They challenge me a lot. And this one was no different. We read this book called True Biz by Sara I think you say Sara Novic, but it might be Sara Novic. It is about the deaf community, and I love books that are both entertaining and very human, but also educate you on a whole other subject that, unless you have been exposed to in some personal way. And oh my gosh, we just learned so much. It's a great book if you want a good read. It's a little young adult in its story, but it still is wonderful. And yeah, I really recommend it. It was a fun read. It was a good read. And it was a read that makes you like go down the rabbit hole of like cochlear implants and Alexander Graham Bell. Oh God, don't even get me started. Just when you think you've been horrified enough by just what you know about the world, then you Google Alexander Graham Bell. So I want to know, what is it that you all want to see? You know, inevitably, this is the time we're thinking about like resolutions and stuff. And I have a lot to think about. But I want to know what you guys want to see. I'm trying my hardest not to buy a lot, which I'm not doing the best job, but I have found that in the categories where I've done a really good job decluttering, I've been a bit more judicious about what I've decided to purchase. And so I want to get there definitely with my complexion products, which I haven't really decluttered. So I've been thinking complexion products are hard. I have been thinking of doing like a complexion product review roundup where I spend maybe 30 days, and every 3 days I change my complexion products, and I do maybe all my lighter complexion products, and then kind of talk to you all about like the 10 that I tried that month and what I like and what I don't like and why. Would that kind of series interest you? I also feel like I really enjoy for myself watching full brand reviews, like at least of the products you have. And so I have a lot from Tarte, and I would love to share my thoughts on that. So I have a lot from Tarte. I have some also from Moira Cosmetics, which is pretty new to me as a brand, but there were some things I really enjoyed. And maybe I have some other brands that I have a lot of. You know, someone requested like a full swatch of my lip collection, which I might be able to do eventually, and kind of fun. It's fun. But that one I'm probably gonna have to, I would have to break out in like nudes and glosses and like reds and berries and stuff like that, because it would just be too much. I still have quite a lot of lip products. Is there something new for the lips that I want to talk to you about? So this is one of the Merit lip oils I purchased. This is the shade, I have no clue, wait. This is the shade Taupe. It's really beautiful, but maybe I will do a lip liner. I have so many lip liners and I don't ever. I have a Pat McGrath lip lip pencil. This is in the shade Buff. Yeah, I'll make it work. I don't love this shade with what I'm wearing right now, but I don't think I love Buff. Ah, this lip oil is so good. So this lip oil is very neutral, but with that kind of peach color, at least peachy on me, like a peachy rose. That's Buff. I mean, it looks okay. Looks okay as a whole. Not my favorite lip liner color, though the way the lip liner went on seemed really nice. So, but this lip oil is everything. It is very, very thin as a lip oil, and it feels super hydrating and nourishing, and there's a good color to it. And I'm just gonna swatch it on the back of my hand so you kind of see what the color is. So it's a little more toasted than it's coming off right now, and I think that has to do with the lip liner. I also have this, in 2 other shades. One that's more orange tone, which is really pretty. I think it's called Marrakesh. And then a very, very deep, deep chocolatey one. And that one I love so much. It's like a cool tone chocolate, and it's living in my purse right now. So I will definitely use that one on a future video. But that is essentially my look. Should I put my hair down? I don't even know what it looks like. Hair down, a little fluffy. So these are some of the products that I have been using, and for the most part, liking a lot. Thank you for joining me today. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up, and commenting down below, especially with ideas of what you want to see. I would love to start a story time series. I've been inspired by a friend of mine who has her own YouTube channel, which I will link down below. I just feel she's so charismatic. Her name's Kat. She's just so charismatic and so easy in telling about her life and just catching you up and stuff. And that's what I've always wanted for myself and my channel, is just a nice outlet to connect with everyone authentically. And I feel like she does it really well. And I want to definitely spend more time just putting on makeup and just telling you guys stories, because I feel like I got a lot of stories. So if story time is something that interests you, you know, let me know. Let me know about products and things that you're curious about. And I'm just in that place that now I think I have the bandwidth to start fresh and making more content, more videos for you all, and also for myself. And yeah, so I would just love the ideas. So I hope everyone had a beautiful weekend, and we will talk soon. Bye, everyone.